Shahid Amin's event metaphor memory is a masterpiece of the Subaltern Studies Collective. It investigates a defining moment in modern Indian history. On February 4, 1922, during the non cooperation and Khilafat movements, a crowd of peasants and volunteers attacked and burned down the police station at Chauri Chaura in Uttar Pradesh, killing 23 policemen. Gandhi immediately condemned the violence as a crime and betrayal of nonviolence. He called off the nationwide mass movement. Nationalist historiography largely marginalized the event, reducing Chauri Chaura to a regrettable obstacle or a tactical blunder that derailed an otherwise pure anti colonial struggle. Amin's book is a rigorous deconstruction of how elite nationalist discourse, colonial judicial archives, and local popular memories collide, construct, and transform a violent historical event into a national metaphor. He shows that the event meant different things to different people. Amin structures his inquiry by interrogating the two dominant archives that have tried to fix the meaning of Chauri Chaura: the colonial judicial apparatus and the nationalist teleology. The colonial judicial archive was massive. Following the riot, the British state instituted punitive measures resulting in hundreds of arrests and multiple death sentences. The judicial archive consisted of court proceedings, witness testimonies, and high court judgments. It demanded that a complex collective peasant uprising be translated into an individualistic criminal conspiracy. To secure convictions, the state relied heavily on approvers, accomplices who turned state's evidence in exchange for immunity. Amin exposes how the judicial process flattened the chaotic collective politics of the subaltern crowd into a legalistic script of guilt, conspiracy, and murder. The complexity of peasant politics was reduced to a simple criminal case. The nationalist teleology, on the other hand, treated Chauri Chaura as an embarrassing exception to the noble, disciplined trajectory of the freedom struggle. For nationalist elites, the peasants of Gorakhpur were seen either as raw material to be properly tutored or as misguided elements whose uncontrolled violence threatened the orderly transition to national sovereignty. They could not see the peasants as autonomous political actors. In both the colonial court and the nationalist chronicle, the subaltern actor is denied autonomous political agency. They are either a criminal to be hanged or a pawn to be disciplined. An important contribution of Amin's work is its critique of both colonial racism and romanticized leftist nationalist populism. These assumptions often hold that subaltern action must either be totally spontaneous or neatly orchestrated by higher level urban leaders. Amin rejects both extremes. Through meticulous archival and micro historical reconstruction, Amin shows how local peasants in the region appropriated the idioms of non cooperation and khilafat in their own vernacular terms. For the local volunteers, participating in the movement did not mean blindly following distant elite commands. They fused Gandhian authority with local structures of wrestling arenas, village solidarity networks, market day gatherings, and localized grievances against oppressive landlords and local police. Gandhi's presence in the popular imagination of Gorakhpur was immense, but it was refracted through local mythologies. Peasants believed Gandhi's miraculous powers could protect them from police bullets or overturn colonial authority. They saw him as a holy figure with supernatural abilities. Subaltern political action was deeply modern yet vernacular. It drew upon national symbols and localized community structures. The peasants were not just following orders, They were acting on their own terms, using the resources available to them. Amin also explores how Chauri Chaura evolved over the decades from a specific historical event into a powerful political metaphor and a contested site of memory. Following independence and the consolidation of the post colonial Indian nation state, the memory of Chauri Chaura underwent an official rehabilitation. By the 25th anniversary of independence in 1972, the state recategorized the anti police riot as part of the freedom movement. The descendants of convicted rioters and survivors were transformed from criminal outcasts into pension receiving national freedom fighters. The state rewrote history to fit its own narrative. However, Amin's oral history fieldwork in Gorakhpur reveals a deep disjuncture between official state monuments and popular local memory. Surviving family members and local youths remember the event not through the abstract teleology of national liberation, but through stories of physical prowess, police brutality, survival, and the heavy price paid in imprisonment and executions. They remember their relatives who were hanged. They remember the fear and the loss. The memory of the event remains stubbornly localized, fragmented, and irreducible to the sanitized narratives of the modern nation state. Official history and popular memory do not match. Shahid Amin's event metaphor memory provides an indispensable theoretical template for post colonial historiography. By refusing to let subaltern voice be neatly absorbed either into colonial criminal law or into nationalist self congratulation, Amin demonstrates how historians must listen to the complex, contradictory textures of popular politics. The subaltern past cannot be easily tamed by the master narratives of elite history. Chauri Chaura remains a brilliant testament to the fact that history is never simple. Events are remembered differently by different people. They are used for different purposes by different institutions. The same event can be a crime, a blunder, a metaphor, or a memory. Amin's work challenges us to think about whose stories are told and whose are forgotten. It asks us to pay attention to the voices that are silenced by official narratives. This is a profound and lasting contribution of Amin. Amin opens up new ways of thinking about history, memory, and the politics of the past.